At 78, the tragedy of Elton John is beyond heartbreaking, for while the world knows him as one of the most flamboyant, successful, and beloved performers in music history, behind the glittering costumes, the timeless hits, and the sold-out stadiums lies a lifetime of pain, addiction, heartbreak, and struggles that nearly consumed him long before he became a legend. Born Reginald Dwight, Elton John grew up feeling unloved and unwanted, caught between a father who was cold and distant and a mother who was often critical, leaving him to seek comfort in music, the one place where he felt truly free. That pain became both the fuel for his genius and the wound that haunted him for decades. By the time the world embraced Your Song, Rocket Man, and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton was already spiraling behind the scenes, drowning himself in alcohol, cocaine, and self-destructive habits that pushed him to the brink. His fame was meteoric, but so was his descent into darkness, nights of excess, broken relationships, and days spent lost in a haze where he admitted he would stay awake for days on end, binging on drugs and food before purging in a cycle of despair that nearly ended his life. For years, Elton struggled with his identity, hiding his sexuality in an industry and an era where being openly gay meant risking his career, and that inner torment only deepened his reliance on substances to numb the truth. Though he eventually found the courage to come out and later embraced his role as a pioneer for LGBTQ+ visibility, the scars of those hidden years remain part of his story. His relationships were tumultuous, and his loneliness often unbearable, even when he stood on stage in front of thousands. Friends and colleagues feared for him, convinced that he might not survive the chaos he was living in. The tragedy of Elton John is not only in his addiction, but also in the cost of fame. How a boy who just wanted to be loved ended up chasing it in ways that almost destroyed him. Even after finding sobriety in the early 1990s, Elton has carried the lingering shadows of his past, admitting in interviews that he still lives with regret over the pain he caused himself and others during those lost years. His health, too, has become a struggle in recent years, multiple surgeries, infections, and physical exhaustion, forcing him to cancel tours and confront the reality that his time on stage is drawing to a close. For a man whose life has always been defined by music, the prospect of losing that connection with fans is a heartbreak all its own. And yet, despite everything, Elton John has managed to turn his pain into purpose, devoting himself to charity, to the fight against AIDS, and to raising awareness about addiction and recovery, proving that even from the darkest tragedies can come hope. Still, the story of Elton John remains bittersweet, for behind the glasses and the sequins is a man who has endured unimaginable suffering, whose success was born from struggle, and whose heart, even at 78, still carries the weight of a boy who never truly felt wanted. His legacy will forever shine, but his life story is a reminder that even the brightest stars carry the deepest scars, and that behind the music that changed the world lies a tragedy as heartbreaking as it is inspiring.